I feel like if Peter Weller had been in more movies overall, he'd have the same sort of half-ironic, half-sincere fandom today that accrued the likes of fellow 80s leading man, character actor Limbo occupants Nicolas Cage and Jeff Goldblum. Though I guess if you're going to be remembered for only 2 roles, RoboCop and Buckaroo Banzai ain't half bad, but there is a third weird-ass Peter Weller 80s performance to make it a hat trick, and it even predates the other 2. Our subject for this week, 1983's Of Unknown Origin, in which the actor famous for his mastery of stone-faced understatement gives us his version of losing his shit over the course of about 80 minutes.
Now listen, you see, the major dilemma here is that this town ain't big enough for the both of us. Now, I've been around, I've been to college, man. I've been there, see? I've tried dope, I've tried these things, and I just want you to know who you're dealing with.
Our basic setup, Weller is a well-off yuppie dad living in a meticulously modernized apartment on the top floor of a New York City brownstone that is 100% absolutely really in the real New York and not obviously Montreal. He did all the renovations himself, which he's very proud of. He's married to Shannon Tweed, making her film debut, and if you're a dude my age, chances are she was a really important part of your adolescence too. And even though her dad is some rich guy she and the kid are off to spend a ski vacation with as the movie opens, he's also proud to be paying for all this nice stuff himself thanks to a slick corporate job and a big promotion coming up, which is why he's not joining them on the ski vacation. But no sooner are the wife and kid gone than does it become clear that Dad is not alone in the house. Okay, the movie doesn't play around about it, so neither will I. It's a rat. The antagonist is a rat. A slightly bigger, slightly more aggressive than average rat that's decided to move into the apartment and mess around with things while this guy has an important work deadline. On one level, it's a haunted house movie with no poltergeist and instead a known physical creature that behaves more or less the same way a poltergeist does in such movies, but requiring fewer special effects. But on the other level, it's a Reagan-era midlife crisis version of a Tom and Jerry cartoon, wherein the role of Tom will be played by Peter Weller's mounting sense of emasculated inadequacy. See, again, the rat in Of Unknown Origin is not a mutant or a lab experiment or a possessed or gifted with some special persona of its own. In fact, the movie goes out of its way to reinforce that it's just a regular, kinda biggish female sewer rat that seemingly came indoors to nest and not much else. It's a pain in the ass because it's a rat and the apartment is small and full of expensive, tightly organized stuff, so it does a lot of damage just by burrowing and scurrying around the place, but it's still only a rat.
Maybe you're spending 20% of your time thinking about him, but he's spending 100% of his time figuring out ways of how to outsmart you.
Over 1/3 the entire population of the civilized world destroyed by rats. Not bombs, not guns, but rats. It can wriggle through a hole no bigger than a quarter, swim half a mile and tread water for 3 days, eat through lead and concrete with these teeth that are like chisels.
So this guy really should just stay focused on his work, call an exterminator, etc. But it's the 80s, he's a corporate master of the universe type guy, he's got to prove to his kinda out of his league super hot wife he can handle all the home stuff and be a big tough problem solving man too, and he manages to piss the rat off and we're into a low-key man versus nature battle of wits that begins to consume his life and attention, causing his work to suffer, health to deteriorate, sanity to degrade, and ham-fisted literary illusions to emerge.
You son of a bitch!
Okay, so the metaphor at play here, I imagine, is fairly obvious. The cord-chewing, property-destroying, etc. bad behavior from the rat generally happens in tandem with other frustrating things in the background noise of this guy's life. Another dude gets the promotion he wanted and he has to do a harder project instead. His wife calls and he has to be reminded that her daddy has a bigger checkbook than he does. He's annoyed about other random house stuff. The rat is basically serving as a manifestation of the mounting minor modern distractions, eating away at him while left to his own devices. Oh, the tragic anxieties of the modern urbanite baby boomer. Though all credit to Weller for walking a really fine line between coming off realistically pathetic and kind of a prick as befits everything about his character, but also getting us to empathize to a point with what a pain in the ass this must be.
Jeez!
Though still, again, it is just a rat. The main scary things it does is take out a stray cat Weller brings in to try and kill it, and a pair of attack scenes that turn out to be nightmares, until Weller messes with its brood and reaches full homemade caveman weaponry levels of losing his shit, and at that point, yeah, sure, it's on. If that sounds like Of Unknown Origin is closer to comedic farce than thriller, that's basically the case, especially in the way the film keeps allowing the audience to recognize that the severity and immediacy of the issue really only exist in Weller's head. Right at the same point he's entering Rambo mode at home, we're finding out that his boss is actually a pretty understanding guy who has noted that he could use more time and that that'll work out better at work, so yeah, sure, take it. So he really could just chill the hell out already.
Everything is gonna be okay. Elliot's given us another 2 weeks.
Leave us alone!
But by then it's too late, and after all, that conspicuous dollhouse scale model of the apartment in the cellar ain't gonna obvious metaphor itself into a million pieces. Of Unknown Origin was the North American directing debut of Greco-Italian director George P. Cosmatos, who'd helmed classy European big star vehicles like Sin, Massacre in Rome, The Cassandra Crossing prior to this, and transitioned to an eclectic, successful career in Hollywood as a go-to fixer for troubled productions afterwards, most notably Rambo First Blood Part 2, Cobra, Leviathan, and Tombstone. He's also the father of Panos Cosmatos, the director of the recently well-received art house horror features Beyond the Black Rainbow and Mandy.
So what you gonna do with that thing?
I'm going hunting.
Crazy evil! You see the cosmic darkness.
He does quite a lot with a little in this one, considering its strange premise, limited location, and looks to have used a real rat whenever possible. It's an odd film and definitely more unusual and occasionally gross than scary, but underseen and definitely worth checking out. I'm Bob, and that's The Big Picture.
Okay, yeah. Hey guys, this is me, Bob, here at one of our current work locations, where, among other things, currently at work on new episodes of The Big Picture, and since it's almost October, working on this year's Schlocktober. This intro should be appearing in front of re-released episodes of classic Schlocktober, I believe the 2018 season. Either season 9 or 10 was previously available as a compilation. Going back through the playlists, realized that this season, which was one of the last or next to last ones that was on the second volume of Escapist episodes, was in the compilations, was not re-uploaded as part of Big Picture Classic previously, so we're rectifying that. The compilation episodes, very good for my traffic numbers. Thank you very much. Not necessarily great, I realize, for people, fans, viewers, who are just looking to watch one episode or link to one episode. Use as an example, say, hey, here's this one episode where a movie was talked about, check this out. So, fixing the fact that these specific 4 or 5 episodes were not in single form on the channel, getting up. I recognize that not everyone is the biggest fan of the regular, semi-regular re-uploads of not previously available or not previously remastered material. I understand. I also hope that fans and viewers can understand our perspective, that we need to get as much of the original material up on the channel as possible, because otherwise it's sitting on some other channel where someone else is getting ad revenue off of something that I did, that we produced, that we now own, that should be coming back to us. And speaking as someone who's had to go out and basically hunt down old uploads of my own material to get back, I want to have as much of my stuff in one place as I can. The lineup for Schlocktober this year, I'm not going to reveal ahead of time because we generally don't reveal ahead of time. I'm very proud of what we're working on this year, and I'm very proud of a cool announcement that I'm planning to make at the towards the end of Schlocktober this year that I think people are going to be very happy about. Continuing to push to get more new material out, get more reviews up. Like I said, we've been still producing the show out of this location, other locations, trying to get this whole operation back up on its feet. Thank you from the bottom of my heart again to everyone who supports the Patreon, who shares the Patreon with their friends, continues to watch this content. I know that many of us are rebuilding things that fell apart during the whole plague situation. It's been tough. So to everyone who is still helping us get this out and helping me put really my life back together, thank you so much. Schlocktober is coming. Until then, I'm going to try and get these remastered 2018 episodes up at least once a week in September while getting other content out. Looking forward to it. I love autumn. Love this time of year. And thank you all so much.